They won't notice you at first. That is the advantage. In a world addicted to noise, the quiet man becomes invisible, and invisibility is underestimated power. Most people are trained to recognize dominance and volume. They associate confidence with expression. They measure strength by visibility. But history has never belonged to the loudest voice. It belongs to the most calculated mind. Centuries ago, Niccolò Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that rulers must learn how the world truly operates, not how it should operate. He did not write about morality. He wrote about survival, control, perception, and strategy. And the first lesson? Humans are predictable, emotional, reactive, driven by insecurity more than logic. The lone wolf understands this. He is not antisocial, he is observant. While others rush to speak, he studies tone. While others argue, he watches posture. While others react, he analyzes patterns. Because patterns reveal weakness, and weakness reveals leverage. In any room, within minutes, you can identify emotional drivers. Who seeks approval, who fears exclusion, who needs attention, who wants control. Most people unknowingly confess their insecurities through behavior. The loud one often hides doubt. The overly agreeable one fears rejection. The aggressive one protects fragile ego. The joker masks discomfort. The lone wolf does not judge these traits. He maps them. Mapping human behavior creates psychological advantage, because once you understand what motivates someone, you understand how they move. And once you understand how they move, you can position yourself accordingly. Positioning is everything. The majority live reactively. They respond to stimuli without pause. Insult them, they flare up. Praise them, they inflate. Ignore them, they chase. But the lone wolf does something different. He pauses. That pause is power. In that silence, he gathers data. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It pressures them to reveal more. If you maintain eye contact and say nothing, watch how quickly someone starts explaining themselves unnecessarily. Humans fear empty social space, so they fill it. And in filling it, they expose themselves. Information is currency. The person who speaks the least often learns the most. The person who reacts the least often controls the most. Emotional detachment is the first discipline, not emotional numbness, controlled emotion. If someone can trigger you, they can control you. If someone can predict your reaction, they can manipulate it. So the lone wolf trains neutrality, calm voice, steady posture, measured responses. When insulted, he does not defend instantly. When praised, he does not cling. When challenged, he does not rush to prove. He evaluates. Why was this said? What was the motive? Who was the audience? Every interaction has layers. Most people only see the surface. The lone wolf sees intention. This is where dark psychology becomes strategic awareness. Understand this clearly. Influence is not about force. It is about understanding emotional incentives. People move toward pleasure and away from pain. But what defines pleasure and pain varies by individual. For some, praise is pleasure. For others, control is pleasure. For some, security is pleasure. For others, admiration is pleasure. Find the dominant craving, and you find the lever. But here's the difference between amateur manipulation and strategic control. Restraint. Just because you understand leverage does not mean you overuse it. The lone wolf rarely reveals his full understanding. He lets people believe they are leading. He lets people underestimate him. Underestimation is camouflage. Machiavelli emphasized appearance as a tool. Appear cooperative, appear moral, appear aligned. but internally remain strategic. The world reacts to perception more than reality. If people believe you are harmless, they lower defenses. If people believe you are unpredictable, they hesitate. The lone wolf balances both. He appears calm, but not weak, friendly, but not available, capable, but not boastful. Scarcity increases perceived value. When you are always present, you become background noise. When you are selectively present, you become significant. This applies everywhere. Friendships, business, relationships, leadership. Overexposure reduces impact. Strategic absence builds curiosity. Intermittent reinforcement is one of the strongest psychological conditioning tools. When attention becomes unpredictable, attachment strengthens. If you are consistently kind, people become comfortable. If you are consistently distant, they detach. But if you are warm sometimes and silent other times, curiosity forms. Curiosity leads to investment. Investment creates influence. Yet influence without discipline becomes manipulation for ego, and that is weakness disguised as power. The lone wolf does not manipulate to feel superior. He positions to remain secure. Security is independence. Dependency is vulnerability. If someone can remove your validation and destabilize you, they own your emotional state. So the lone wolf trains self-sufficiency, financial independence, physical resilience, mental discipline, emotional regulation. He builds competence quietly. While others post announcements, he practices skills. While others compete for attention, he builds capability. While others chase trends, he studies timeless principles. Competence creates silent authority. Authority is heavier than intimidation. Intimidation relies on fear. Authority relies on capability. Fear disappears when challenged. Capability strengthens under pressure. When you can solve problems others cannot, your silence gains weight. You don't need to speak often. Your presence speaks. Presence is energy regulated under control. It is not loud dominance. It is calm certainty. The lone wolf also understands hierarchy. Every social environment has an invisible ladder. Some climb by charm. Some climb by aggression. Some climb by alliances. He climbs by reliability and strategic timing. He does not compete for the spotlight prematurely. He waits. Timing determines impact. If you speak too early, you dilute authority. If you act too late, you lose position. Patience reveals opportunity. Impatience exposes insecurity. Most people struggle with delay. They want immediate validation, immediate revenge, immediate recognition. The lone wolf tolerates delay because delay filters emotion. If you still want to act after emotion cools, it is strategy. If the desire disappears, it was ego. Ego is the most common vulnerability in human psychology. Ego reacts, ego defends, ego seeks superiority. The lone wolf does not eliminate ego. He disciplines it. When criticized, he asks, "Is this useful?" If yes, adjust. If no, ignore. He does not argue to protect identity. Identity is internal. Outsourcing identity to public opinion creates instability. The majority derive self-worth from reaction. Praise inflates them. Rejection deflates them. That is emotional volatility. Volatility can be exploited. The lone wolf stabilizes himself internally. Self-definition removes external control. He also studies manipulation tactics used against him. Guilt pressure, artificial urgency, excessive flattery, public embarrassment attempts, emotional withdrawal to provoke reaction. Recognizing tactics neutralizes them. When someone pressures urgency, slow down. When someone flatters excessively, observe consistency. When someone attempts provocation, remain composed. Non-reaction is frustrating to manipulators because manipulation requires emotional engagement. If you do not engage, the tactic fails. Now, understand something deeper. Dark strategy is not about harming others. It is about protecting your position in a world where not everyone operates ethically. Naivety is not virtue. Awareness is protection. However, there is danger. Excessive detachment can become isolation. Constant analysis can become distrust. If you see every interaction as a chess move, you risk losing genuine connection. The lone wolf must maintain balance. He chooses carefully who earns trust. Trust is given gradually, based on consistency over time. Time reveals character more accurately than words. Observe how someone behaves when they gain status. Observe how someone behaves when they lose it. Observe how someone treats those who cannot benefit them. Patterns over time create clarity. Clarity prevents betrayal, but never assume invulnerability. Even the disciplined can become complacent. Complacency invites surprise, so remain observant as without paranoia, strategic without cruelty, independent without arrogance. There is also a misconception about being alone. Alone does not mean lonely. Lonely is emotional dependence unmet. Alone is self-sufficient. The lone wolf chooses solitude when necessary to recalibrate. Solitude sharpens thought. It reduces noise. It strengthens self-awareness. Without constant distraction, you see your own weaknesses clearly. And self-awareness is the ultimate power. You cannot control others effectively if you cannot control yourself. Self-control is mastery over impulse. Impulse ruins strategy. If anger dictates action, you expose vulnerability. If jealousy dictates action, you reveal insecurity. If desperation dictates action, you surrender leverage. So the lone wolf practices delayed response. Even in small matters, he does not answer instantly. He does not commit impulsively. He does not reveal plans prematurely. He moves when alignment is clear. This creates unpredictability. Unpredictability creates respect, not fear, respect. Because fear without respect breeds rebellion. Respect with restraint breeds stability. There will be moments when people misinterpret your silence. They may assume weakness. Let them. Underestimation is opportunity. Many powerful moves in history occurred because opponents underestimated quiet figures. Visibility attracts attack. Subtlety avoids unnecessary battles. Choose your conflicts carefully. Not every disrespect deserves confrontation. Not every opinion deserves correction. Not every opportunity deserves pursuit. Selective engagement preserves energy. Energy is finite. Attention is currency. Spend both wisely. The lone wolf also understands emotional mirroring. People feel comfortable around those who reflect their energy slightly, not fully, but subtly. Mirror posture gently, mirror tone slightly. This builds subconscious rapport. But never lose your frame. Maintain internal stability. Frame is psychological ground. If you hold frame, others adjust. If you lose frame, you adjust. Control of frame determines leadership. Now the final layer. Ultimate power is internal regulation. Can you stay calm when insulted publicly? Can you walk away from manipulation without explanation? Can you remain neutral when others try to provoke envy? Can you observe success without arrogance? If yes, you are rare. Rarity creates value. Value creates influence. Influence creates freedom. Freedom is the true objective, not domination, not revenge, not superiority. Freedom from emotional control. Freedom from dependency. Freedom from insecurity. The lone wolf does not seek to dominate the world. He seeks to dominate himself. Because once you control your reactions, your focus, your discipline, your standards, external chaos loses power over you. The world will remain noisy. People will continue competing for attention. They will overshare, overreact, overcommit, overexpose. You will not. You will move deliberately, speak strategically, invest selectively, trust gradually, act decisively. And when you do act, it will not be impulsive. It will be calculated, no announcement, no emotional display, just precision. They may never fully understand you. That is acceptable. Understanding is optional. Respect is earned through consistency. Power is built through discipline. Control is maintained through emotional stability. In the end, the most dangerous individual in any environment is not the loudest. It is the one who sees clearly, the one who cannot be emotionally hijacked, the one who builds silently, the one who waits without anxiety, the one who chooses rather than chases. That is the lone wolf. Not isolated, not angry, not antisocial, just controlled. And control is power.